Let's get it on, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey everyone, Brendan Snyder here. How are you? Thanks so much for joining us for another Sound Exchange session. Anthony Coviello, co-host.
Good morning.
We're at Sound Exchange in Wayne, New Jersey. And question today, we're gonna jump right into it. What is the first album that a new music fan should buy? Have you given this some thought?
I gave it a lot of thought.
Okay.
So,
How would you approach this? Somebody walks in,
what do they like?
Yes.
What are they into?
start with that, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, so I would definitely, absolutely start with that. But after that, let's say somebody walked in and literally didn't know anything about music.
Fugazi.
Fugazi, you'd start them there. Which one? 13?
I would start with 13 songs on CD or
Okay. And would you do CD or vinyl if they were brand new?
it depends on what they have.
No, I'm saying they're brand new. They haven't gone to the store to buy either a record player or a CD player.
I'd
They're
have to
coming
ask
in.
them what their budget is.
Okay.
And
You're getting real
I would-
technical, but this is true.
I
This is
would
true.
100%
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
recommend vinyl, but if it's a kid
Yeah.
who has no money, I'm going to tell them to buy a CD player.
Yeah.
They're cheap. CDs are a third of the price of a record,
Right.
and I want them to get as much music as they can.
And
so
then they-
I'm going to recommend CDs, hands
Yeah.
down, to a new listener.
And then they can branch out from there and go into other mediums and stuff like that if
Yeah.
they want to. I was thinking about this, and I said, and exactly like you, I said, well, gee, I guess I would ask them what they're into, and then I would recommend an album from that. But if they literally didn't know anything about music, and I was just trying to get
Then they
them
should go
started, no, I would tell. You know what? I thought about this. I think I would actually have them buy AC/DC's Back in Black. I think it is just a killer classic album that has stood the test of time. And I think no matter where you are or what you're into, it's got a good possibility of clicking with people. That's where I would go at least. But
And Peoples, I would go
Yeah.
back. I would go back to soul, funk, Motown. I wouldn't
Yeah.
recommend anything guitar based.
Nothing, really.
I would stay away from rock, not
What?
guitar based.
But
But
I-
I wouldn't go with anything rock. I would keep it something that was
that because of what's going
sense
on
of purity.
today?
No,
no?
I just think
What?
that.
Is it-
I'd give them
Because it's not
Supremes a
on radio?
Go-Go. I would give them
Right.
with a little bit of soul from the
But-
Temptations.
I'm just trying to understand, like, why go back that far? Is it because it's not on the radio? It's not popular? Nobody else would be recommending
I just think it's
it?
better music.
Better music.
I just think that there is a simplicity to it. There's a life that
What era
led
is
life
that? Is that
into
Supremes?
what
Is
we
that
listen
60s?
to now, 60s.
Okay, so you'd go back to like 60s
And
era.
I don't even want, because if we put decades on it, it
I
almost sounds
know,
like,
I'm
oh, you're
sorry.
a 60s
Yeah,
asshole.
I
No,
just-
I just think
I'm just trying to
it's-
wrap my head around
I
it.
think it's
Yeah.
it's better
It's better. Okay.
because it doesn't
Like you
point
said-
you in
well-
a direction for anything. There's a purity to that stuff that doesn't exist.
That idea of it
Anymore.
being purer, I don't know if that's a word, but
All
the
that
purity
all the,
of something.
That was the first time you heard things like that.
Yeah, that's true. It's groundbreaking. Go back to some blues artists from that era.
Well, then we're talking Lightning Hopkins
Right.
and John Lee Hooker.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do Howlin' Wolf because it's too brash.
Okay.
But dark, lonely nights or sometimes bright mornings when the sun's just coming up, that's
Mm-hmm. Right.
John Lee Hooker time, man.
Now I know you said not guitar based,
Nina
but
Simone, she'd
I
be
thought
one of mine.
about Black Sabbath and Paranoid.
Black Sabbath is a different animal. I would never recommend Paranoid to anybody.
Yeah.
I would recommend the first Sabbath record
Yeah. See, I did,
or Master Reality.
okay. I'm not a fan of the first one, so that's
Really?
why.
How
yeah.
come?
I like the song Black Sabbath, but the rest of it does not feel like Sabbath. It doesn't
I
feel
feel
like
it's-
they have gotten there yet. It still feels like a blues band trying to be heavy.
That's what I want.
I know, and that's
Paranoid.
Right.
I just,
then their Sabbath.
fuck, if I don't
Yeah.
ever have to listen to Iron Man again, I will be happy. Or Paranoid.
And
It's
I
like,
get
come
that.
on.
But that person that we're recommending it to has never heard this.
That's why you give them the first record.
Oh, so you
let
let-
them grow with the band. Let them make that choice for themselves.
Okay, instead of giving them the big one.
Yeah.
Okay.
See where they go with it.
I like that approach. I didn't really think of it that way. You know,
Because you're giving it to them because I fucking love this. So it's like you're shoving your fucking. That's why
Well,
when I was
no,
taking a
see,
shit this
I-
morning, I thought about this question.
I don't ever want to hear Back in Black again. I'm like you with that.
I don't ever wanna hear Back in
love
Black again either.
Fly on the Wall.
I don't even want to hear that record.
I know,
again.
but
I love that record.
I wouldn't recommend it to someone simply because it's my favorite. I generally, when somebody comes to me and says, "I don't know anything about this
Back
band,
in
what would
Black's
you recommend?"
different.
Yeah,
I think that stands on its own.
yeah, right.
Um,
But you're a Bon Scott fan. Would you go Highway to Hell instead?
no.
No, you still do
Fucking
Back.
Powerage.
A Powerage, yes.
I mean, Highway to Hell.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Highway to Hell would be my AC/DC
But Powerage is
recommendation.
my
Just being
favorite
around
from-
the bushes on there. Highway to Hell is just a great album front to start.
Totally.
Yeah.
Front to start. Front, isn't that the same thing?
Except for Highway to Hell,
Front to-
front to back, from start to finish.
Yeah, I
I'm
like
sorry.
that.
'Cause there's so many words happening in my head right now.
Trying to get it out,
And
right?
it just- yeah, it
Your
doesn't
mind
come
is going
out.
faster than your mouth
Yes.
is. I love that. But that's that's when you know you're into something.
Yeah.
You're excited about it because the words coming out, you don't quite finish a sentence. But we
Yeah.
all know what
Thank you
you're
for
saying.
the catch, Jesus.
Yeah,
Whew.
no, that's fun. That's the cool stuff.
I'm not an idiot half the time.
Right.
I'm an idiot half the time.
Because I thought about, the other big albums. I'm a huge Guns N' Roses fan, so Appetite for Destruction.
I'd love to recommend Appetite, but I don't know if I would.
I don't think I would. I think that's heavier than I would want to
And
give
age,
to someone.
life
Yeah.
experience has something to do with it.
And that's a really dirty, raunchy kind of record, sex and drugs, and I wouldn't want to turn someone off. I think again, that's a record you got to find on your own. You
Good
got
way to look at it.
got to grow into
The
that.
Shirelles right there. I'd recommend something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
just,
know. I mean, if I was going to go back and do some classic stuff, I would do some Jerry Lee Lewis or some piano style,
Definitely
Little
not.
Richard. No.
I don't like it.
Okay.
And it's not that it's great; it's of its time. But
Yeah.
that's the problem. It's of its time.
Correct, and that's why I wouldn't
Who
start
buys
there.
that shit now? Almost nobody.
No?
But
I don't
you're
know.
still selling Supremes. You're still selling Temptations, and I'm not
Right.
knocking anything.
Right.
I am partial,
Yeah.
but
Well, of course, and that's
you know,
what this
Jerry Lee
video
Lewis
is.
had a couple of hits. And
Yeah.
that's it. Little Richard had a couple of hits.
Yeah.
That was it.
High
It's
School
not,
Confidential,
it's not
man. It's
knocking
an
their
awesome-
careers
No.
and that they haven't
But
been able to go through and
We're only
play.
talking one album. We're not
Yeah.
talking about giving someone a catalog.
Oh, see, I'm a catalog guy.
No, I know.
Yeah, I know.
But
I don't know.
hear
It's
you.
tough, but I don't know. I wouldn't go Jerry.
yeah, and I know you're not a Pink Floyd fan. You're a fan of Momentary Lapse of Reason, but a lot of people would say, "Oh, you got to do Dark Side of the Moon" or something like that. And I really don't think I would want that to be someone's first Pink Floyd album if they were going to go down that road. I would go Animals or something that isn't on the radio all the time, that isn't radio friendly. Those long, drawn out 13, 15, 18-minute songs that are on there kind of thing.
And then what if you recommend an
Yeah.
album? This is the other.
Right.
And they say, "Oh, I don't want fucking 13-minute songs." Then
True,
you just
yeah.
fucked them with Animals, and they're never going to get into Pink Floyd.
True.
So I think of that.
Yeah,
The
right.
Doors. I would recommend the Doors.
I thought about that too. I was thinking the Doors, and I think I would do the debut.
Yes.
As much as I love L.A. Woman,
No,
and
I
Soft
would not. I
Parade,
would start
no,
with at the start. Grow
that
with the
is
band.
such a great album.
Yeah.
I've really come full circle to that one over the years. I'm back to that one as, in my opinion, being their greatest album.
It's like that first Sabbath record. Once that bell
Yeah.
starts tolling,
Oh.
you don't know what's happening.
No.
That's why I recommend. That's why I would go for that one.
It is a pretty moving record. If somebody
It's
puts that
It's
on,
just
yeah,
fucking massive.
it's magical. Yeah, hearing that song
That
for the
first
very first
Sabbath
time.
is just, it's insane. Is
Let's-
it my favorite Sabbath?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care. I
Right.
just know how that
Are-
opening makes me feel.
Right.
It's
Are you
freaking
a fan
incredible.
of Led Zeppelin?
I love Led Zeppelin.
Where would you start? Same thing? First
First
album?
record.
Wouldn't jump in with four.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, so through the years, things
Yeah.
being released, a Led Zeppelin fan on CD,
Yep.
I would recommend the BBC sessions.
Oh, that would be a good place.
That is the most
Yeah.
incredible Led Zeppelin I've ever heard.
I like How the West Was Won. That's
It's a live album.
I
I hate
know,
live albums.
but I love this one.
I like the BBC
Yeah.
because it's not in front of people.
I do too.
Except for that one Paris.
I
thing.
have really found that I love BBC.
BBC
albums
sessions
now.
are awesome, man.
It has all the energy of the live show, and 99% of the time there's no crowd.
Because you have to be on, because
Yeah.
you are live in studio,
Yep.
broadcasted over the entirety of England.
And you don't have the crowd noise to hide anything either.
No, you have to be on.
Right, exactly. So I get the best of both worlds. I don't have to listen to people scream, and I get the live, raw energy.
I was listening to one of the Pearl Jam CDs, the live.
The most recent ones?
Yes,
Yeah, those.
Portland.
Yeah.
I'm enamored with all of them. I'm
Right.
done with 6. The Portland, there's a woman
Yeah.
that I want to fucking go in the audience and strangle.
Woo! Right?
It is.
Screaming?
She must have a mic, or she must know where it is, and when it's time to scream, she
right.
looks right at the microphone and goes, ah!
And she just has
the
a
whole
bull-
fucking show.
Yeah.
Sound exchange. Make it like a high, make
And
it Johnny Ho.
that's why I don't like live albums.
Hello?
For fans like that.
I still love live albums, though. I think the new
even
Pearl
when
Jam
that's
live
but
records
would
are
you
awesome.
go back and listen to that album with her screaming in it, or is that one just going to sit on the shelf now?
Depends on the energy. Most likely that'll be the last one I listen to
Yeah.
because of her obscene yelling. And I want yelling. I like it, but
Yeah, but okay, to a degree, and
it's
not
just
repetitive.
her, and her voice is nails on a chalkboard.
Shrill.
But
That's probably why it is over everything. It sounds like she has a mic. She just hits this highness in her voice that
Yeah.
projects. But so, is there any live album you would recommend as a first album to somebody, say, other than the BBC?
yes, but I can't think of that right now.
Okay,
But there is
live
there's definitely
albums that-
something I would put out there, and I just
I know
can't
some
remember.
people would say like UFO Strangers in the Night is a big popular one, or
Never heard it.
Deep Purple's Made in Japan.
I would recommend other Deep Purple than a live album. I think,
that,
definitely.
yeah, right. I don't know. I'm not a huge live album fan, so the Who live at Leeds. People
The Who.
always no Who album. You wouldn't recommend any Who then. I wouldn't recommend any Who. Would you recommend a Rolling Stones album? I was trying to think
No.
of what. Yeah, I can't think of one Rolling Stones album that is a definitive album. And I know a lot of people
No.
would say Sticky Fingers or Exile on Main Street. I don't like those all the way through enough to say this is a definitive album that somebody would have to start with.
I love them all the way through
Yeah.
to say that, but I wouldn't.
You wouldn't do that. See,
I do not want to be responsible for that. That is too big.
that's too big. Somebody's love or hate of the Rolling
Aftermath,
Stones.
UK version.
Yeah, I like that one. I do like the UK version better too. The track listing. Yeah, I don't know, man. You guys should weigh in and let us know. But first albums, man, and it's interesting because that will define somebody, their love of things.
It's the same thing as going through. Where are you now?
Right. I am so
So
far
what moves
beyond.
you now? Somebody's
Right.
gonna walk in and say raw record, and
And
you're gonna it's gonna be what's in front of you.
And it's my 35-year history of music listening and collecting and
Yes.
everything. But
Beastie
then-
Boys, check your head.
Yeah.
That would be a first.
Because, yeah, if somebody walked in and asked that question, first thing I'd say is, are you into rock, metal, rap? What are you into? And then I would start with that. But,
Which is why I would go with the soul and the funk,
right,
because it kind of will let them branch out and
let them lay the groundwork.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Hip hop.
don't
What
know.
would be a good rap record? I would recommend. I don't know.
Ice-T.
I don't want to be
Original, no?
I would love to recommend Original Gangster, but it's not.
No? Tupac, All Eyes on Me? You're not
No.
a Tupac fan, though, right?
I am a Tupac
Oh,
fan.
okay.
It's just that Ice-T record is brash.
Let's go back to.
If you want to blow somebody's fucking mind,
Yeah,
give them that.
let's go back to Sugar Hill Gang.
No, it's for fucking kindergartens.
I love it though.
It's great. I love it. That's what Mitchell.
Run DMC.
John, is that
No.
what Mitchell was just saying?
Yes.
Right. You know what? The first Run DMC record.
Yeah.
That is a great start.
Yeah.
Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
Low End Theory.
I like Dr. Dre, Chronic.
Dr.
See,
Dre.
Chronic is also a great start, but it's so singular
It is.
in its
It
vision.
is, yeah, yeah. It'd be like if I recommended a glam metal album to someone. I would
Singular
never.
in its
I
vision.
wouldn't start there with it. Yeah. No matter how much I
Getting
love.
high, getting laid.
Yeah. Right.
Selling drugs and killing motherfuckers who are fucking with you for selling their drugs.
Drugs. Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Right.
want to stay where it's not. Hey, how's it going?
Morning.
Where it's different.
Right. You want to start bigger
Holy
and
cow,
broader.
What do you start?
And
Holy shit.
That is loud outside with the cassette.
it is loud out there. I was filming my intro to one of the videos, and I was like, "Holy crap! It went up really loud."
That's the new cassette player.
Ah, okay.
So the record, the
Yeah.
CD, the streaming,
Is
and now
all
the
very
cassette all
And then you put it
vary
back
out
Out there?
Yes.
Oh man.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I guess comes back to being subjective.
Right. Well, of course, and our opinions on this are subjective, and the way people hear things, that's subjective, and you have to hope that whatever you recommend to them, they're going to enjoy, and or even if they decide they don't like it, at least they would know not to continue to go down that road and to try something else.
And that's why my first recommendations for music
Yeah.
would be something neutral.
Right. I hear that. That makes total sense. So, all right, guys, weigh in. Let us know the first album you'd recommend for someone to start if they were a new music fan. All right, take care, everyone. Peace.
See you later. Thank you.